Hey, everybody, welcome back to day 63 of 100 Days of Halloween. I hope you are well. So, what are we doing for 100 Days of Halloween? Well, my lovely friend and Yarny sister Ranee over at the Woolly Llama Shop back in July, during one of her lives, was discussing with several of us that she had an idea and what she was wanting to do because the 100 days of Halloween was quickly approaching. She wanted to do a blanket project. And rather than a blanket that was going to continually grow, seeing as how a lot of us are in the South, her idea was to do it in 6 inch by 6 inch, approximately granny squares, each with a fall or a Halloween theme, and build this blanket over the 100 days leading up to Halloween. Several of us thought it was a brilliant idea. I jumped on board with the blanket project. I was excited for it, definitely gung ho for sure. Wanted to join her in solidarity. And two other Yarny friends and sisters, Patricia over at the Yarny Cat Crochet and Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations, have also joined in, but they are making different projects. Patricia is making a hodgepodge of different things. She's made a handbag, she's made a scarf, she's made an amigurumi, and word has it on the street she is working on a fourth project already. And she drops videos whenever she completes them. And then Nova is also making wearables. For herself and some near and dear littles in her life. And rather than show us the project she's making, she's saving that for a grand reveal during the 13 days of Halloween. She is giving us about weekly updates on how the squares are coming along and showing us the majority of them, of what she's doing for these projects. And I always look forward to seeing the videos when they drop of what they've been up to. But Rainey, being the structured person that she had combed the interwebs and compiled this really long list of all of these different types of squares or appliques that were fall, Halloween themed, etc. And she keeps adding more. Even though she only needed 100 for the 100 days, she keeps adding more. And every day, approximately, except for the weekends when she's got to work, she is drawing at random from her Jinx Jack o' Lantern of Joy and providing you guys with a free pattern or tutorial on the interwebs on how you can make a square or an applique, because you don't have to use them to make squares for blankets. You can make any sorts of things like Patricia did when she made her handbag and her scarf, etc. You can use them for anything. Um, and so, yes, she has had to pivot several times on her blanket. Rainey has, but I think her blanket is going to be awesome because of all the pivoting and what it has morphed into. And if you don't know what that is, you really need to go over there and check out her videos, so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's going to be epic when she gets it done. I, on the other hand, am not that structured. I have been throwing caution to the wind. Whatever creative inspiration strikes me, or whatever I'm inspired by Rainey or Nova or Patricia or you guys. And that's how I've been doing my squares every day. The only thing that is random with mine is the fact that about 2.5 weeks in, I think it was, I started drawing my squares out of the boo box of fate at random. So from day to day, I never know what squares we're going to have for me to work on for the next day. So with that, um, yes. So I am doing the 100 squares on mine. I have not pivoted on that aspect. And I have been grouping mine in groups of 10 to make it easier for me to keep track of. And after we get a whole 10 done, I am doing a video recap of those 10 before I join them into my blanket, or as I've been saying, feed the blanket. Because if you've been around a while, you know my blanket has a lot of black cats on it. And so, therefore, I have to feed the blanket. So, we've completed blocks 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, 41 through 50, and 51 through 60. And we are now working on 61 through 70. So let's see what we've been working with so far in this group of 10. So since we're on day 63, yes, day 63, we are on our third block for this group. So for day 61, we had drawn out at random one of these Red Heart Super Saver in the Jumbo Stripes Brights squares. I love these squares. I used pretty much a whole skein except for a smidgy bit ball that was left over and wouldn't complete a whole square. And more times than not, I'm leaving them blank because I love how the colors are flowing. However, with this block for day 61, I did not. I ended up using that smidgy bit ball that was left over and a couple of other little different colored scraps. And I made Halloween candies to put on it. Like I said, normally I don't cover these squares, but for some reason I was inspired to make Halloween candies because this was giving me all kinds of goodies vibes. So there we go. That was day 61. And then for day 62, we drew out at random like this sunset square that had the speckled yellowish orange in the center. And then it went to a bright orange, then a darker orange, then a light red, and then a deeper red. And we had several people who had put in suggestions and guesses, and two of you actually hit the nail on the head and got it right. And I had seen a new bat tutorial that I hadn't seen before. And all of the information will be in the description box for whatever square. The information for the bat tutorial will be under um, day 62 square. So there was that because I can't remember off the top of my head what I know it was called Silly Bat and I can't remember, but it's all in the description box. I saved them all for that whole group of 10. So, like, let's say you are seeing this video in a week and you're like, oh, I love square number 2. Where do I find that bat? Just go in the description box and you can find the tutorial for the bat. Or if it was a written blog post with a written pattern, all the clickable link would be down there. So then for today's square, yesterday we drew at random purple. Oops. Ooh, I almost gave you a sneaky peek. Yes, it was purple again. Oh, and it matches my shirt. And I don't think we'd had like a solid purple in a little bit. There for a while, it was kind of like purple, orange, purple, orange. Um, and I was trying to figure out what to put on it last night. And so I was kind of going over my little list, and there was one thing that popped up quite a bit that we had not done yet. And I'm going to read what you guys suggested or guessed would be on today's square and see if anybody picked it again. So Patricia said Sam's idea was really good. Love your bat. That had to been for the sunset square yesterday. Sam had said she would love to see the Hocus Pocus vacuum, flying vacuum, silhouetted on the moon. And I love that idea. And I actually wrote it down because I really want to try and figure out how to make the flying vacuum applique. I will I will figure it out because there's nothing online. But even if it's after Halloween, I will figure it out because we know Halloween never dies. So let's see. She said, I think the candle would be perfect on the purple square. And then Lisa Knits said, hi, Missy. Hi, Lisa. She said, a scary pumpkin. Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations said the bat is super cute. I had a feeling it might be a bat. I shall guess alien again because green would look so good on the purple background. And then Amy from Hooked on Wishing, she says hi. Hi, Amy. And TJ Wells, you must be new because I don't remember seeing your name before unless you've just been watching and not. But hi. And I don't know if TJ is a girl or a boy. But they said, what about a moon face? Ooh, that is a suggestion we have not had before. We're going to have to put that on the list. That's a good one. So, one person kind of got it right. So, Nova, she said an alien because the green would look good on the purple. However, I didn't do just an alien. No, no, I did a little alien in a flying saucer. And I put a little planet here and another little planet here and some little stars and one streaking across the sky like a comet. Yes, I did a little alien. I had to play around with this for quite a while to get a shape that worked to fit inside this little kind of misshapen UFO that I did. Um, and after I put it together, I realized it kind of resembles my bag for Missi's Yarniverse and more. The only thing this is missing is the alien and the UFO. We may need to add that on at some point. Um, Maybe a little alien crocheting. Who knows? Ooh, I just had a thought. I may need to add an alien crocheting to my blanket. I'm gonna have to remember to you guys remind me to write that down because I don't want to forget that one. But yes, he's in his little UFO. And basically I just did a few chains and some half double crochets until I kind of got this weird little I think there was a single and a couple halves and then another single. And then I just chained and slip stitched, chained and slip stitched until I got it to fit. I probably spent way more time on this than I should have, but I had a vision in my head and alien kept coming up from you guys. So, the only I wanted to do an alien head, but the only one I really liked that kept coming up is a paid pattern. And I'm almost positive, and I really need to look in my filing cabinet drawers where the patterns are. I almost think I already own that pattern from when it came out several years ago. I just really need to look, but I'm trying to use free. And if it's not free, I'm freehanding. But if I do have that alien head, I don't know because I'm not sure exactly because you make the eyes and then you attach them and make the head and then you turn it into a granny square. And I've not made it, so I'm not exactly sure how big it is. Um, so I haven't had time to go look for it either. So there we go. And I almost thought about putting some little lights on here or, but or a little beam or whatever, but no, he's flying through the cosmos, the Missy's Yarniverse, so to speak. So that was day 63. And because my vacation will be starting, we have already pulled the squares for tomorrow through, I want to say next Tuesday. And I have been working on them. So I am going to be trying to record the videos to do our group. And I think that will get us up to day 70, our whole batch of 10 by the time I complete those. And I'm trying to get them done before we leave. So the videos might be a little shorter since we're not drawing from the Boo Box of Fate right now until after I come back. But the squares are done. So, yeah, I will be doing some batch recording today after this video gets uploaded so that I can schedule them out for your viewing pleasure while I'm on vacation. And every now and again, maybe I'll make a real quick appearance just to say hi, to let you guys know I'm still alive and all that stuff. So, yeah. So that's 3 days. Day 61, oop, 62, and 63. And I think he's pretty cool. Yep, he's pretty cool. I kind of like him because it after I got him done, I realized it reminded me of my bag. So, yeah. So, with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And you'll probably be seeing this purple t-shirt for the next week, as long as I get all of those other videos recorded today. So I love you guys. We will see you back tomorrow for day 64. Bye for now.